So how can universities play a greater part in helping drive innovation in their city regions? I believe all senior managers in universities have the responsibility of helping draw out the best knowledge in their local business and community partners, especially for the good of the knowledge economy. I also believe higher education is perfectly placed to give our external partners the confidence to use their own imaginations better, to work in partnership for mutual benefit, and to turn such strategic developments into flourishing enterprises. In the higher academic enterprises we have studied over the last decade, we have shown that such success is most easily achieved by practicing virtuous knowledge sharing, shown here diagrammatically as a virtuous cycle. In practical terms, in our higher academic enterprises, we typically use an action learning approach to achieve successful team working. In action learning, teams of 6 to 9 differently talented people are brought together to co-create. This is based on problems and issues they collectively see as requiring novel solutions. They begin by learning how to define a worthy problem and the sharing of a clear objective for its solution. In such an approach, our academic entrepreneurs act as facilitators, honest brokers, and non-directive enablers. Through open discussion, each of the creative team members' issues are fully discussed and collectively understood. They are then led onto new and exciting directions by the academic leader, who leaves them with a new set of collective actions to test, evaluate, and modify, and hence the term action learning. By acting as partners in university, such creative higher academic enterprise teams strive to make their collective solutions real winners, where they pit themselves against the rest of the world. Good action learning develops when teams are passionate about the collective objectives they follow, an objective that excites all team members to succeed together. So, virtual knowledge sharing through action learning is more than about just collaborating for its own sake. It is about creative collaboration, driving a sort of modern renaissance for everyone. When I started higher academic enterprise at Salford, my academic colleagues and even our external partners said, "Isn't this simply about universities making more money for themselves, doing technology transfer, or developing courses on intellectual property for their own academic staff?" We saw academic enterprise very differently. While part of our academic enterprise does indeed attempt to make major funds for the university through Reach Out, and we do undoubtedly protect certain aspects of our own intellectual property, much of our activity goes way beyond this, for my colleagues and I try to open up the ideas of the university to others so that our collective efforts make a real difference to the world in terms of cultural, social, civic, civil, scholarly, environmental and creative enterprise, as well as helping the economic future of my university and its staff. The first thing we had to do in our new academic venture was to turn around the outside world's view that academics weren't accessible and indeed wanted to live in an ivory tower, hermit-like, preserving their time and independence for their own independent studies. Indeed, this cartoon reflects this opinion, but from an academic viewpoint. It is meant to represent myself in my younger days with a research fellow, inquiring why can't we be left to our own ends to get on with our research. Shown by the entrance to the university are people from business in the community banging what appears to be a closed gate. True, that is how academia may once have been perceived, but over the last decade universities have all been charged by our government to reach out helpfully to all external partners. All have done this to some degree, and universities like Salford have done this willingly and embraced it fully in the development of better external engagement. To begin with, like other universities, our early academic enterprise involved what most call technology transfer, where leading-edge technological developments were simply passed over at a fee to relatively unsuspected businesses, industries, or community partners. I call this first phase of university reach out the technology dump era. However, where some technologically advanced partners knew what to do with this new novel technology and how to properly implement it without help, many just didn't know how to apply such knowledge even to their own industry or how to utilise the knowledge to the benefit of the community. We at Salford soon realised the need for fuller and more open linkages between academe and other business or community partners. So the next phase of our reach out involves setting up proper feedback to academics from business, or even better, regular exchanges between the two parties involved in any knowledge transfer. So in this improved state of reach out, we asked our partners what they were doing with our knowledge and responded by trying to give them better advice and feedback where this was relevant.